It's 1st of November 25 and it's Saturday and I'm looking at Thursday's results. That was 30th of October 25 and I'm looking at them from the perspective of voting reform as a single issue protest vote. It's equivalent of using the electoral system as a referendum. They're the only choice we have at the moment. Advanced UK will be coming soon. They'd be even better. Then you need vote tactically, I would say, probably, because you need to get the other parties out. So, yeah, this is just for anybody interested. So there were 6 seats this week. Let's take a look at them. First of all, I'll give you an idea on how the polls are going nationally. This is from Election Maps UK, which is a good site for all this. They reckon that Reform would be on 346 seats if there was an election today, according to the polls. And Labour would be on 101. I mean, Labour in 2019, Keir Starmer in his cabinet said that 2019 was a low point when Corbyn got like 210 seats and he got more votes than Keir Starmer did as well. Lib Dems would be on 77. I don't know how they're getting so many. SNP would be 44 seats, winning most of Scotland again. Tories would be 36, so they would be totally decimated, really. The Greens 12, up 8. PLC up 6, and I think the one to look out for is the minority, but I think that includes the Northern Ireland ones, but they're saying 9, but I think it'll be more than that actually, for independence, for identity ones, and your party, etc. There's from the poll of polls how they reckon, I think this is how they reckon it would be. So Reform would be taking most of England there, a few Lib Dem areas, Labour really some inner cities, and that's about it. Tories occasionally. Reform with the turquoise one. There is a hexagonal map. SNP is the yellow one. And this is a poll, national poll from Find Out Now from, say, 29th of October, and Reform on 32%, but the Greens are beating Labour and the Tories, so the Greens are the second party, they're up 2%. Find Out Now is always different from all the other ones. I would say they're probably better. They're probably better than the other ones. I think they're using a different method. I think they're ruling out don't knows. I'm not sure, but Reform 32, Greens 17, Labour 16, Tories 16, Lib Dems 12. And also look out for others. I mean, that could include SNP, Plaid, it does in fact. But I think that's going to become a really big thing as we get concentrated areas. We'll probably vote for might vote for identity candidates, like the ones that have joined your party, along with Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana, who were all independents. I'm pretty sure there were 6 seats this week. Reform 1 in Bromsgrove. I think that's round about Birmingham, I don't know. Tunbridge Wells, which is a very rich sort of artsy area. Lib Dem hold, massive hold there. Garlinge and Thanet, don't know, is that down near London again? Reform gain, so that's a good one. That's 2 for Reform. Stirling in Scotland, East Stirling, SNP gain. Reform done pretty well there though, as a newcomer. Roebuck, this is Stevenage, Reform gain, so that's 3 seats for Reform. And Hendon and Barnet, Conservative hold. I think this is sort of a unique area in terms of demographics, so yeah, I don't think it was to do with the class. Bromsgrove, South in Worcestershire. It was a Reform who won this, and either the council gave it up or it was ill health or something. You know, we're finding that with quite a few Reform areas that the win seats, the councillors are giving the seat up, and I'm not sure why. Maybe they're just, you know, because it's a new party, maybe they don't want to do it once they're there, or it could be ill health or whatever, you know, it could be a number of, or maybe Reform don't want them anymore because of X posts they've done or something. But anyway, it was a Lib Dem gain. Lib Dem was already doing very well here, but they're up 20, yeah, from the last time. There was Reform. So Reform had about the same vote actually, it's just a Lib Dem, so it's probably tactical voting that's been going on here. Tory votes totally dropped. Labour votes dropped, was hardly there. The Greens didn't put anybody up. Maybe they were all trying, the left were all trying to get behind Lib Dems. So they turned out 30%, which I think is quite big for a council by-election. It's very difficult to vote council by-elections and that, because it's a Thursday, people are working. Most people, you have to turn up. You can do postal votes, but yeah. So there we go. That's Lib Dem. I don't know. Really can't explain how that's going to. I mean, it seems to me that the three parties that are going to be contesting in the future is really Reform, Greens, and Lib Dem. Really, to me. On to the next one, St John's, Tunbridge Wells. This is a sort of unique, rich area, I think. Turnout 28.4%. It's a Lib Dem hold. Around about the same, but 53% of the vote. Labour, it looks like they didn't make anybody stand this time. There was a local, and they're up 9%. They're up to 9% this time. Reform, 15%, down 1.2, but still pretty good. I mean, I think this is a really posh area. The Greens done pretty well as well, 13.5%. I mean, it does seem that Labour now is the party of the middle class, really, the artsy middle class. Tories, well, they weren't really in it. So, there we go, St John's. Of course, I don't know anything unique going on in these areas. I don't know if their surnames have anything to do with it, or how the area's changed. I don't know if there's anything like a car park issue or something. Anyway, on to the next one. Carlinge, Thanet, Reform gain. So this is a real good gain here. 44.6%. Is this down near the Thames, near London? You know, sort of traditional Labour area, I would imagine. Tories up 10%, so that's a bit of a shock. Maybe the left got behind them or something, I don't know. Turnout doesn't tell me the turnout there. The Greens didn't really take off there under Zach Polanski. Yeah, Labour are way down 12%. Maybe they switched to Tory, these are the voters. Lib Dem 4.6%, they didn't stand the last time as an independent. Yeah, it was a local defending that actually, so they must have just either given up or ill health or whatever. They got 49% the last time. This time it's Reform, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm interested in Scotland. This is East Stirling East, and it's an SNP gain, but I'm looking at Reform to see how they done. So 23%, they're up 9.2. This seat was last contested 2024, so last year. So that's that's pretty good. You know, I'm guessing this is a sort of SNP Labour area. So for them to do so good is great. Here's Labour, didn't really change. So we've got a funny system. Well, it's a better system, I think, up here where you do a preference voting. So you can get elected after 7, have been ruled out, transferred. Single transferable vote. Tories down. This is the first vote. 3.6. So the SNP, they done well. The Greens, they done alright. But Reform's what I'm looking at. I take that as a success because it's probably a traditional SNP Labour area. So I'm happy with that. Turnout was 26%, so no big deal of people rushing out to vote. To me, this is the thingy of the night. Roebuck and Stevenage, because I think this is a sort of new town, maybe quite near London or something. And it was a Labour. I'm guessing it's always been a Labour area, but I don't actually know. And Labour are way down, 12%. Still too high for me at 27%. Reform are in at 39%, so fantastic start. Turnout 25%, so it's really just a sort of normal turnout. And there's the Tories have dropped. So the Tories would have been like 23%. Labour are usually around about 38%. So the Greens didn't really take off here. Maybe the left got behind Labour or something, I don't know. Lib Dems, not bad, but not really in it. So yeah, this is a I think this could be an important result, because I think this is a sort of, in fact I'm just going to check Stevenage. Yeah, it seems that Stevenage is a swing place from Labour to Tory at MP level, and they had that MP guy who was always on TV from 2010 to 2024, but now they've got Labour in, they've went with a swing. But at local government level they're solid Labour, because there's 39 councillors and 30 of them are Labour. One is Tory, 2 Reform, and now with 3 Reform probably, or maybe they're including that one. So this is a solid Labour council place. Yeah, it's a new town. It was the UK's very first new town, so this is probably just after the war. The New Towns Act was 1946, and yeah, so it's very interesting that because this is a real former council house area. Probably a lot of them are bought now. Yeah, so there you go. On to Hendon, and this is a sort of unique demographic here, I think. And I think both Labour and Tory had certain surnames, I don't know, but Reform have come in as well. They might have a surname as well, I don't know. 30%, so that's pretty good, but 46%, so Tories have held it, which is going against the trend. I don't think the Tories will take any encouragement from this. They know it's a sort of unique area thing, probably. Labour are right down, so they've dropped 15. Greens not really in it either, under Zach Polanski. Lib Dems, they're not in it either. Others, 2.3%. Yeah, I'll just give a look at Hendon. Yeah, I mean, it does have a diverse population. Yeah, only 35% seem to be British native by the looks of it, really, or they describe themselves as that. So it's a very thing. We can see one religion is 33%, Christian is 30%, no religion 14%, whereas the London average is 27%. I mean, personally, I think most of us are atheists now. Well, ones that have been in the country a long time, but very long time. And there's the other 9%. So, yeah, and let's look at the council result. Actually, the two top candidates, Shimon Reid and no, is that right, Shimon? Or is that David Joseph? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I think you can get a picture there. Labour weren't really in it. Okay. And that's it then, I would say. So Reform got 3 out of 6. But they did lose a seat as well, but they almost won it. And that was the anti-reform lefties all ganging up against them. So where were we? We were around about Bromsgrove. So 1 Reform, 2 Reform. Oh, it's 2 Reform, 2 out of 6. And they lost a seat. Lib Dems gained 2. I don't know why. And Tories held 1. SNP held 1. So that's how it goes. Let's look at next week's council by-elections. Actually, it's not renewed yet. So that's it for this week. Okay, bye for now.